Hello and welcome to Golden Age of Geek. I'm Mike, your host. A while ago, I wrote in an article for a script about what Hollywood can learn from video games. It was about how game mechanics help create the narrative in games and how those concepts could be applied to stories and screenplays. Now, I have to confess, I leaned heavily on many informative videos by Extra Credits. Those guys rock, and you should all check them out. I'll include as many links as I can remember. But honestly, I used so many that it's a little hard to remember them all. But they have tons of information on games, game design, game narrative, and the effects game mechanics have on the story of and aesthetics of the video game itself, so you should always check them out. But my original article was short, and there's plenty more to discuss, so I'm making some more videos. First up, why do so many video game adaptations suck? With Hollywood's now insatiable appetite for IPs that they can turn into blockbuster movies, we're going to see more video game adaptations, not fewer. You know, even if you despise the very thought of another video game adaptation, well, get used to it. Even if Assassin's Creed flops, we're going to get more. Get used to it. But do they have to suck? That's the thing we should be asking ourselves. And the conventional wisdom says that video games don't make the best movies. That's because the narratives or the either don't exist or the narratives they do have aren't suited to the big screen. And I just say that's a load of bull. That view stems from a fundamental mistake. Producers and screenwriters are looking at the aesthetics of a given game, its setting, its design, its lore. What they fail to realize is that all of that takes a backseat to the game's mechanics, because it's through the mechanics that gamers experience the game. It's the difference between watching someone play a video game and actually playing it. When we play Mario Brothers, Dark Souls, Doom, or Street Fighter, we don't watch those characters. While we're playing, we become those characters. And that's what Hollywood should focus on when trying to adapt a video game. Instead of copying the look, make sure you can capture the feeling of the game. Many people don't realize it, but we've already had a great cinematic version of the Mario Brothers already. It's the work of Jackie Chan. You know, the Mario Brothers franchise isn't about giant dragon turtles or peachy princesses. The heart of the game is running and jumping. And, you know, this is exactly what Jackie Chan did in his heyday in films like Rumble in the Bronx, the Police Story franchise, the Armor of God franchise. All those death-defying, real-life near misses and heart-stopping moments, those are what we play Mario Brothers for. You know, the thrill of running and jumping and nearly missing those floating platforms, that's what Jackie Chan has given us throughout his career. You know, and you can still do that. If you're going to make a video game adaptation of a platformer, go get some parkour stuntmen and just have them go nuts. And when you understand this, you realize that you can ironically make a good video game movie without a lot of CGI. In fact, let's take a look at Battleship. You know, that wasn't based on a video game, but it was based on a game. And it had a lot of other problems besides its failure to live up to the mechanic. But, you know, at the heart of the problem was that the creators wanted to make a Michael Bay-style actioner out of a board game, and whose main mechanic was that you don't know where your opponent is. You can't see anything. You're just sort of guessing where everything is and trying to determine where those ships are. They could have, saved themselves hundreds of millions of dollars just by putting the cast on a soundstage with a fog machine cranked up to 11. You know, it would have been very, very cheap looking, maybe, but it would have at least captured the feel of actually playing the game, and you couldn't have faulted for that. Likewise, in the two failed attempts at translating Hitman, the video game, bungled by trying to copy classic John Woo, even though John Woo himself has now long since moved on and is no longer doing the gun-fu, killer, hard-boiled style action movies that he was known for. But beyond that, you know, Hitman is one of the most intricate stealth games around. You can go through, in fact, it's very rewarding if you do go through a level without ever drawing your gun, and you can build an incredible movie around that, around sneaking around, around deception, around disguises. They did a lot of that in the first Mission Impossible movie, and it worked out pretty well for them. There's a lot I still haven't covered yet, but what a game mechanic really is, or how it translates to screenplay and story. But hey, we can save that for the next episode. Once again, this is Golden Age of Geek. I'm Mike. Thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like or subscribe, and I will see you next time.